politics, the Democrat Andy Beshear versus the Republican, this being J.D. Vance, the current Vice President of the U.S. So as you can see here, the map looks a little bit different from the get-go to start. Some states that are only in the Republican Party's column, I haven't quite called yet. Doesn't mean they won't be in the Republicans' column. But I do think Beshear would be able to expand the electorate of what would be considered a swing state into some states that generally go a little bit further into Republican territory. We will start with the likely and end with the tilt. So for the likely state, I think Florida would probably still remain in the likely red column. I think Beshear would be a good nominee for Democrats to put forward. He's been able to win a governorship in the state of Kentucky, which is, as you can see there, is a safe red state. And that is a very impressive feat that a Democrat was able to do that. So I think if he can do that, he can narrow things up. But I think Florida, it might get narrower in a really good situation. I could potentially see it going to J.D. Vance by a lean margin, but for now I'll put it in the likely column. And then I think the rest of these are going to be in the lean red column. So we'll go, actually Ohio I'll put in the likely red, but I will put Iowa and Texas into the lean red instead of likely. I think Beshear would be able to narrow this up. Ohio is, of course, J.D. Vance's home state, so he would most likely be winning that state. So that's going to be quite a few more electoral college votes for J.D. Vance, bringing him up to 218, to Beshear's 225. And now we are mostly left with the main swing states that will determine who the president is. We also have the district speaking of Maine, in Maine, that is going to give us an idea. I'm going to call this one. Generally, this district is in the Republican Party's category by a lean. I think in this situation, it would be by a tilt. There have been Democrats that have won this district. They currently have a Democrat representing them in the House of Representatives. So I think it's a real possibility that Beshear could potentially win this district. But for now, I'm going to call it for the Republican, J.D. Vance, but it will have narrowed up from lean to tilt. And then let's go through the main core swing states now. We'll start with the one with the fewest amount of electoral college vote and end with the biggest, which is going to be Pennsylvania. So as far as Nevada goes, going to put that into the lean blue column. Beshear, I think, would fairly easily be able to win this state. Honestly, virtually every Democrat I've had doing hypothetical elections against J.D. Vance has won the state of Nevada. It did go red in 2024, kind of shocked the nation. It does have a Republican governor as well. I think in the long run, the state will trend blue. I think that the demographic shifts are most likely going to help the state remain in the Democratic Party's column, and I think that Beshear would be able to win the state fairly easily, so that's going to be in the lean blue column. Next up, we're going to head over to Wisconsin. Going to put that into the lean blue column as well. That state was, if I remember correctly, the closest in 2024. It did, of course, end up going for Trump, but it was a very close state. And this state has seen great election results for Democrats. There was a Supreme Court race in the state that had Democrats winning by 20 points a while ago. It was 40 to 60. And I think if that kind of margin can occur, I think it will be narrower for the presidential, but I think that Democrats should be well positioned there in the state of Wisconsin. Next up, we're going to go over to the state of Arizona, and it's 11 electoral college votes. Going to put that into the tilt blue column. I'm less confident in Beshear winning this, but I still think he will. That'll be the call there in Arizona. Next up, we're going to head over to Michigan. I think Michigan and Pennsylvania are probably J.D. Vance's best hope at winning a Rust Belt swing state, that is. And however, I'm still going to put it in Beshear's column. J.D. Vance and Beshear are from neighboring states there, Kentucky and Ohio, so they both certainly have Rust Belt appeal that would do well throughout the Rust Belt as well as in the other swing states. And I think with national trends just really favoring Democrats, and we've seen them consistently overperform, and this is just if the 2028 election were to be held today, I think the state of Michigan would go in the tilt blue column. And then we're going to go to the other half of the Sun Belt in the southeast. So the state of North Carolina, I'm hesitant to call. It's probably the one I'm the most hesitant to call, but Georgia, going to put that into the Democrats column. North Carolina, I think, really could go to Beshear. I think he would potentially do well enough to win it. They generally do appreciate moderate Democrats. The state didn't go blue in 2020, though, however, with Biden as the Democratic nominee. Well, Georgia did, so I'm not certain about North Carolina. Ultimately, it won't really matter because Andy Beshear has already crossed 270. He's at 283 right now. But as far as the state of North Carolina goes, for now, I'll put it in J.D. Vance's column. It's gone back and forth, but ultimately it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a Democratic victory for Beshear. And then I think that victory will be further extended with a blue call in the state of Pennsylvania, electoral college votes being added to Andy Beshear's column, ending up with 302 for the Democrat to 235 for the Republican J.D. Vance. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.